Have you ever set out to find something in life and failed, but you ended up finding something better instead? That's serendipity. Serendipity is a lot like looking in a haystack for a needle and finding a farmer's daughter. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, when you find serendipity, it's because you actively went out to look for something and found something better instead. We all know some famous examples of this. Help me out here. Christopher Columbus went out looking for a faster route to India, and he failed, but instead he discovered that's serendipity. Alexander Graham Bell set out to invent a hearing device for the deaf, and he failed, but instead he invented the and Cleo McVicker set out to invent the perfect wallpaper cleaner and failed, and instead invented Play-Doh. Play-Doh, that wonderful, colorful molding clay that millions of children around the world have shaped with their tiny hands, eaten with their tiny mouths, and ground into the parents' carpets with their tiny little feet. That's serendipity. The thing about serendipity is that you have to go out and seek something actively in order to find something better. There was a time in life when I went out to look for something better. It was 1999, I was 35 years old. I'd been in a comfortable job, the same job, for almost 14 years. It wasn't enough for me. I knew it just wasn't right. I wanted fortune instead. It just wasn't happening. Fear of failure, fear of setting out, kept my feet fixed firmly in place. The dot-com boom was going on in 1999. People were getting rich. Any idiot could find gold, it seemed like, but me. It wasn't happening. So I looked at my wife, Kathy, and I said, Kathy, there's gold in California waiting for us. Let's start a dot-com. It's idiot-proof. Kathy said, well, I guess we can go test that theory. So we quit our jobs, we cleared our savings account, we moved all the way over to the Golden State to keep my prize of treasure, gold, in mind. I went out and bought a champagne gold Mercedes station wagon, certified pre-owned. I was California dreaming. 3 months later, that dot-com boom turned to dot-com bust. And our dream of treasure turned to dust. We spent 6 years trying to dig ourselves out of debt. And during that process, we started to think that maybe our friends and family and the love and support that they would give us back east would be more valuable to us than California dreaming. So we made that tough decision to move here to Lexington, to be closer to my wife's mother. On the Saturday morning of our move, as I cranked up that station wagon, I remember sitting there thinking with some bitterness and regret, 6 years, and the only gold we're leaving with is this station wagon. That's not serendipity. Halfway in our journey to Lexington, near Amarillo, Texas, I learned a lesson about serendipity. We were headed straight for an ominous thunderstorm. The sun was setting behind us, when in the open space in the flat land in front of us, I saw something I'd never seen before. A perfectly full double rainbow. Now, when you're worried about money and you see a double rainbow, you want to believe. I said, Kathy, maybe we're finally going to find that pot of gold. She looked at me and smiled sweetly, said gently, "Jim, you're an idiot." No, she didn't really say that. She said, "Jim, sweetheart, we did find our gold in the mirror." I looked in the rearview mirror. Framed by that double rainbow, I could see the beautiful faces of my twin golden-haired baby girls, Lucy and Abigail. We had found treasure. The lesson I learned that day was that not only do you have to go out and seek something in order to find something better, you have to be able to recognize what it was you found instead. I had been blinded by gold, thought of fortune, and bitterness to the treasure that we actually had found. Are you actively looking for something in life? Or is fear of failure keeping you fixed firmly in place? Or have you had a failure in the past that you fretted over instead of recognizing the treasure that you did find in its place? Sure, we've all done that. Put those thoughts behind you. Go out and actively seek for something in life. If you fail, think about the things that you did find instead. Think about Christopher Columbus. He failed and instead found America. Alexander Graham Bell failed and instead invented the telephone. Cleo McVicker failed and instead invented Play-Doh. That's serendipity. Serendipity can play a port of gold in our lives if we let it. I don't need those three people for inspiration anymore. When I need a push to get started on a venture or to pick up the pieces after a failure, I just think about that double rainbow, crowning the heads and the beautiful faces of my twin girls, Lucy and Abigail. And I'm reassured that sometimes the unsought treasure is the greatest treasure of all. That's serendipity. Mr. Contest Chair.